We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Washington football team. 2 one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They find some open field here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And here's a give to Gibson. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Gibson again. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his first touchdown of the new season. And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
41 Mike. 41 Mike. Me, Mike, 6. I'm coming after you.
Looking to throw. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Brandon Ayuk, 72 yards. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That catch good for only a couple. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Being chased out left. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They go play action. Mayfield winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A handoff for Gibson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 41. Here's Gibson. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mayfield off the play fake. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Mayfield. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. The carry here for the big tight end. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. John Bates taking it in from 4 yards out. And Washington has taken the lead. Point after here coming up. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the 1st quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Paris Campbell now on the return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Gibson. Room here to run. And he takes this way down, deep into Cleveland territory. 112 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this 1st half. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Mayfield now. Eluding the pressure right. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. A lot of work to get away and outside of the pocket, but no actual yardage there on the catch. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, Brennan, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Play fake. Mayfield. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And Washington going to add on to their lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now a handoff looking right, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll drop to throw. Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2nd down and 3. And they'll run here with Gibson. 130 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
On 1st down, Gibson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Working with his 2nd and 4. Mayfield on play action. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Tyler Boyd there to make the grab. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2. And they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Campbell returning it. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back. In pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the 14 yards actually takes them from 143 to the other for first and 10. They'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Back to throw again. Flushed out right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. He'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on first and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jonathan Allen able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. Campbell returning it. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
2nd and 9 now. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Gibson again, and very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
3rd and short yardage, Mayfield. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jamin Davis came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. A big play that time on the catch and run.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. open. That's Anthony Schwartz. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 34-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. But the passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. William Jackson with a pick. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Gibson. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 158 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down.
Max 22, Max 22. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Alert, alert, alert.
And Mayfield just getting the play off. Got his target, Samuel. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On second down, here's Gibson again. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because he had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Browns drive about to get started. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
Back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
5 yards remain on second down.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll buy some time right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
Now a throw here to his running back. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And that is incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
Here's Tressway now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Well, let's check on the call. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll find Schwartz complete right side. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Once more, Gibson. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gibson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. They'll run. It's Gibson. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. And this one is right through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive